In today's video, we're going to be building a gaming PC as quickly as possible. There is going to be editing, but there will be a timer from the time I start doing this, so you're going to know exactly how long and how quickly I can put this together. And as you can see, I've had a load of coffee and I'm ready for the challenge. Not only because I thought it would be fun, but because I had spicy sausage for lunch and I don't know how long I'm going to last. But Carl, without further ado, if you'd like to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go! Right, today's video is sponsored by Be Quiet, and the reason that they've reached out to do this video is because they actually do have a brand new case. This is the one we're going to be building in today. Hopefully I won't be out of breath for the whole video. This is the 500DX that you all know and love, but this is the new FX versions. This actually has RGB fans baked straight in, so you don't need to upgrade them, throw anything away, gives you better value for money, and this, along with a whole host of other Be Quiet things, are actually on sale at the moment. And if you want to check it out with a link down below, you could grab yourself some goodies. And today we're going to be doing a Ryzen build. This is the B550 Aorus Pro AC. So this will be replaced eventually by AM5, but I imagine those boards are going to be pretty expensive. So for the time being, if you do want to get value for money, you are going to want to stick with B550 and DDR4 memory. This is a full-size ATX motherboard. That will make a load of noise when I take it out of its protective packaging, but it looks good. It is actually available for a decent price, and it is going to accept our Ryzen processor. You've got to be quick, but you don't want to damage any of the components. This is actually more stress than I thought. And the other reason that I'm doing this challenge is not only because I thought it'd be fun, but because I do actually have a cooking class that starts in an hour, 40 minutes. So I have no choice but to get this done. The Ryzen processor that we're going to use is the Ryzen 5600X. And this is a gaming CPU essentially, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's designed specifically for gaming. It can do pretty much anything, but this is a 6-core chip, and this is going to give you a much lower price than some of the other Ryzen processors, but it should give you all the performance that you need in video games, which is why I call this a gaming CPU. So we open up the top slot. Do I need to explain how to build a gaming PC at the same time? Probably not, but we drop this in, and then we lower it down with the protective little cover latch thing. I don't have time to do all my edits, so I'm not going to sort of say things over and over again and make them perfect. This is going to be quick and dirty, like that sentence, I suppose. We don't need the graphics card for now. We'll put this to one side, but we do need to move on to a cooler. The quickest way would be to use the stock one, but I don't want to use that because while the Ryzen one isn't too bad, it is actually very loud. The two options we have, and the new launches from Be Quiet, are these ones. So we've got the PureRock 2 FX. I'm so glad that they've released this because I think people love RGB, and it's a shame for Be Quiet not to have had RGB coolers really before, because I think they're missing out on sales when the products are amazing. But they do also have this one as well. It is an AIO cooler, so if you want to go down the liquid cooling route, then you now have RGB as well, PureLoop 2 FX. This will take a while to install, so I'm not going to go for that today. Instead, we're going to use an air cooler. And if I'm honest, I think most people actually probably should go for an air cooler because AIOs are more expensive because there's more things going on with them. And in terms of performance, a lot of people don't actually need it unless you're going for like a high-end CPU with like 8 or more cores really. Something like this is going to be perfect. I am actually guessing I can do this in under an hour. That is the target. As I say, normally when I'm doing a load of editing and I try and explain things as I'm going, you take a bit of time to sort of go over everything and make sure you're filming it all properly. But today it is not going to be like that. Still hopefully very useful for you though. So I imagine, I'm going to guess, just no time to look at instructions, that you put these on the top and then fix them down with these screws. So we'll grab our screwdriver, we will remove the default AM4 mounting hardware, or at least the top piece. We will keep the back plate, as that is going to be an imperative part of our mounting system. I've never actually done a proper speed PC building challenge before, and I don't really know why, because already I'm finding this pretty fun. It's something a bit different, isn't it? Okay, that is all 4 screws in place. And then your motherboard should look something along the lines of this. So your bracket is ready for the CPU cooler, but you remove this little back protective cover thing, and then you have your thermal paste. You drop it down on top of the CPU, and then you grab your little central bar. Bar goes on top, 2 more screws, fixie, then add the fan. This is one of my new radical ideas. I also thought it would be fun to potentially build a gaming PC with my girlfriend. If you want to watch that, let me know down in the comment section below. I think that would be fun. Actually, I want to add the RAM next because clearance could potentially be an issue. So we're going to use this. It's a more budget-friendly RGB RAM. It's Spectrix D45G. but it is 3600 megahertz, a 2x kit for a total of 16. This is going to be perfect for gaming. You don't need any more. I'm actually properly theming this, by the way, so don't think that I'm using components just because I have them lying around. This is like all of the other builds that I do. Pretty much everything should come highly recommended, unless in the video I start moaning about it.
I hate radiators.
But there's our little motherboard combo. We do also need an SSD. Oh no, the camera's died because I forgot to plug it in. This is costing me precious time and adding risk as well, because this has happened before and everything corrupted. So hopefully that hasn't happened today. That camera's back online. Cool, how are we doing for time? I've got an hour, 15 minutes till I need to leave. That should be fine. So we get these little brackets. We add them to the fan. There we go. Put that in. We then grab the cable and actually plug this in. We have one for RGB, one for fan speed, but I'll leave this to actually plug in around the back because there's probably some extra RGB cables to connect to there rather than the motherboard. We're now going to add the SSD down here at the bottom, just one above the graphics card. Oh, try not to wreck your motherboard in the process because that would be hashtag sad times. Hashtag sad times, that is also a new low for PC Centric. And the one that I've gone for here is actually a little bit different to normal. This is a Gen 3 drive, which I think most gamers should be absolutely fine with, but this is actually a 2 terabyte SSD. So most people will want to grab a 1 terabyte version, but as storage is getting cheaper and cheaper, I'm now finding that recommending 2 terabytes is actually a viable option, because if you do have a lot of games, then obviously you're going to need a larger SSD. So add this into the slot, fix it down, just like that. Please don't spin infinitely. There we go, boom. SSD is in, get the cover, put that back on as well. Motherboard combination is done, and we're ready to actually put this inside of our case. This has felt quick so far, bearing in mind we have added a third-party cooler. Oh, sorry, usually I'd tidy up more as well, but you're not getting that today. Ow, pain. This is the 500DX FX. And honestly, this is one of my favorite cases. The only thing I don't like about this case as much is that it's not quite as wide as certain others. So if you want to grab like a stupidly powerful 3090 and have like one that's got a lot of length, then you might find that it gets a little bit tight if you want to put like a radiator or something in it. So check this before you buy it. But otherwise, genuinely, this is one of my favorite cases. I absolutely love this. I think I've built about 4 or 5 systems in these, but I love the fact that they do now finally give you the option of RGB, and look at that, an RGB controller on the back as well. Be quiet, this is what I've wanted. Thank you so much. But no time for thanks today because we need to get this installed. Drop the motherboard down into place. We do already have an I/O shield on this, so we don't need to add it to our case. Drop this in, being careful not to scratch the back of the motherboard, because if it doesn't work, this does not count as a completed build. I might have to take this fan out and then put it back in, because this is a big boy motherboard. Go on, fit under. Bum, I'm gonna have to take the fan out. Ah. Right, fan's out. There we go. I do like the cable management bar, but if you're trying to do a world record run, that will get in your way. Not that this is a world record. But then again, I suppose it's a world record for these precise components. So I win either way as long as it works. Screws, yeah, tighten those up. One more to go. It would be cheating if I didn't include them all. And I'm not a cheater, I'm a leopard. Yeah, right, happy days. Okay, motherboard is in. Now we need to do our cable management. Cable management on this case is actually pretty decent by default, plenty of tie down points, and it's pre-routed for you. We've got USB Type-C on the front as well, so we'll plug this in first. Oh, okay, we don't have Type-C on this motherboard. That was an oversight. Well, there's one less cable to plug in anyway. That is a limitation with B550. If you go for B660 from Intel, pretty much all of the boards now do have Type-C. I mean, I don't know if you actually even use Type-C. Let me know down in the comment section below. Is this like a must-have feature? USB 3 is down at the bottom. We've got an RGB header as well. This can go over here, bottom left. HD audio I'll plug in after I've done the power supply, and then we have our front panel connections. The usual place, bottom right of the motherboard. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. Come on. Oh, I'm unplugging them now. We're done around the back for now. Next thing I'm going to do is to add the graphics card, because it doesn't really matter about order at this time. So as we alluded to earlier, this is the RX 6600. The 6600 is a great GPU if you want to do more budget orientated gaming. So maybe high refresh rate, 1080p is certainly an option with this, or 1440p and some older titles, or if you want to turn some of the settings down. The cheapest I've seen one of these is an ASRock version before this video, about 260 quid. So not too bad. GPU prices are definitely coming down. Right, GPU slot is properly open now. You can add this in. Boom. Right, clicks in place. Use the 2 screws to lock it into place. Now we can move on to the power supply, which I believe is actually the final component. Have I actually built a PC in like 20 minutes at this stage? That is really quick, and I guarantee if I wasn't talking, I could have done this even quicker. The power supply that we're using is a straight power supply. It is fully modular, which is why you have the modularity at the back. This is the platinum rated one, which is obviously the best option. But if you do want to save yourself a little bit of money, they do often have a gold version that is a little bit cheaper. But this is a 650 watt power supply, which should be more than enough for all current gen cards. But if you're wanting to upgrade this next gen to something stupid like a 4090 or 4080, then I would strongly advise getting like an 850 or 1000 watt, because rumors are those are going to be very, very power hungry GPUs. Fan facing downwards as always, and then we just need to slide this in. Okay, I'm wrong. Screws in the back. More speed, less haste. Come on. Screw it down. Have I definitely got this the right way? Oh, let's hope so. I'm panicking. No, I am. I'm going to lose my race. Yeah, we're in. Happy days. And it screws into place just like that. And then we can spin it round, hopefully one final time. Get all of our cables where they need to be. Cool, so our big ATX power connection comes up here at the top and through that cable management bar. CPU connector, top right. Our 2 VGA graphics card PCIe connections can go through the bottom, or actually I think they'll look better from the top. So I'm going to do that. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to need our SATA connection. We'll plug this in and then stow these cables down the bottom. Our HD audio connector, I'll plug this in. Now I know it's not in the way of anything. Move it back round. So our ATX goes here at the top. Oh, and then we just need one connection, actually not 2, for the power supply. The graphics card, sorry. Bang, just like that. Tuck this one around the back into the hard drive cage. Grab that HD audio, plug that in down the bottom left now. CPU connector at the top left. This gets a little bit fiddly actually. Maybe I should have done this before I put the cooler on. Oh, this is my kryptonite. Can't even see what I'm doing. Ah, this is costing me so much time. Oh, I think we've done it. Yes, yes. Oh, that's in. Oh, that normally would be done, but actually there's some RGB to plug in. Oh no, I've sort of tucked it around the back of the motherboard when I put it in quickly. We'll plug this in. And I think that is genuinely it. I think that is our full system done, because I haven't really added anything. Everything was plugged in for us. There you go. That is definitely, I think, the highest end PC with all the RGB you can build as quickly as that. But the timer does not stop until we know that this thing works. This is very exciting, but there is mess right now. And as with all mess, just chuck it on the floor because your mum will sort it out for you later. And if you think I'm joking, I am. Sadly, my mum does not live here anymore. I don't think she's that sad about it anymore. I say live here anymore, I mean this is my place, so monitor. Between the 2 cameras and all of the wires. It's not normally like this, I am more organised. Monitor cables, DisplayPort into the graphics card, never into the motherboard unless you're using integrated graphics. You will learn that the hard way someday, I assure you. We've all done it. Do need a keyboard technically as well. I'll forgo the mouse because that's just going to cost us even more time. Right, power switch on. Power on. I've not plugged the power cable in. That is why I'm so surprised at that. Don't think I've ever done that. I've done the power switch being off, but never that. Right, let's try that again. Leave it a second. Bang! And I think if we get display, we can stop the watch. That is so quiet. That's mad. Right, come on. Signal, 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 signal. Come on. Come on. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. I've got a red light of doom. But that's not necessarily a red light of doom. Yes! Bang! How about that? What was that? I don't even know. I'm going to guess that was about 42 minutes. I do genuinely think I could do it quicker next time with a little bit of experience. I just had to muck about with the fact that it's quite a thick motherboard at the back and then you've got this cable management bar. So you had to take this fan out, otherwise it wouldn't leave her in. Otherwise, that would have been done quicker. I admit the case definitely did help me out by having all of the fans pre-loaded and then having this fan control at the back. Genuinely, I know this is a sponsored video, but this case is awesome. Like, stupidly awesome. Not just, oh yeah, it's a nice case. This case is the swear word. As I say, just watch out for the graphics card length. That's about it. We should also be able to cycle through the RGB, like so. Yes, there we go. Full RGB if you want. And if you hold down the button, it will get the signal from the motherboard. So everything in theory should sync up. But there we go. That has been the fastest PC build I've ever done. Windows was preloaded. Doesn't count. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Be Quiet for sponsoring it. Smash the like button, get yourself subscribed. Current pricing on everything is linked down below. But thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Or at my cookery course if you're there tonight. Oh, what a result. How about that? I'm gassed. I am gassed.